Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our weekly Major League Baseball betting show that we do with Doug Upstone. Today is June 5th, and right now we're going to take a look at the futures odds to win the American League pennant. Doug, thanks for being back with us.
Hi, Peter. My pleasure to be back. And looking here at the American League, it seems a little peculiar, doesn't it, with what's going on in terms of the odds from the odds makers and the sports books?
Yeah, I mean, we know that the Tigers are the favorites to win the World Series, so I'm assuming that they're a pretty solid favorite to win the American League pennant. That cannot be a good thing. You bet against it somehow. What odds do you have for the Tigers to win the pennant?
I went to 5 dimes and I found them at plus 275.
Oof.
You know, and boy, I would run away from that team right now. They've lost 12 of 16. Their starting pitching is not performing. Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer in particular have been poor. You have to assume, that they'll turn it around. But right now, there is no indication that's going to be the case. Their bullpen has now the worst ERA in the American League, and their closer, the guy that's supposed to finish their games off for them, Joe Nathan, has an ERA of 6.86 right now, Peter. Absolutely horrible. The Tigers, I would not consider them a play of any sort right now.
Yeah, if I could bet it on credit, I might just want to take the Tigers on the no there, getting like, whatever, minus 320 or something like that. All right, so then the two teams that are playing the best right now in the American League, and they're also the second and third choices, are the Oakland Athletics and the Toronto Blue Jays. And after them, there's a few other teams that we could discuss. First of all, do you think both of those teams would be good bets right now, and which do you think would be the better bet?
Yeah, definitely. Those would be my top two, They are my top two choices to win the American League. Oakland is just absolutely loaded. This team does everything right. They're a very versatile team. Lots of answers to what the opponents. For example, today's June 5th, and the game last night. Right off the bat, down 4-0, came back and scored the next 7 runs to win that game comfortably. So, I mean, that just shows you what kind of fortitude this team has and how they play. And Toronto, oh, my goodness, Peter, those bats right now, they are just ringing with all these home runs. I mean, they've gone to the top of the list with the most home runs in baseball, and it's a deep lineup. I mean, it's just not Encarnacion, hitting home runs. There's a bunch of guys now swinging the bat. So this is a very good team. Their bullpen needs to be figured out for them to really be a true contender. But you have to like Toronto, and I think they're a pretty solid bet right now looking at futures odds.
What are their odds you have right now at 5 dimes?
I saw them, I believe it was 740 right now.
All right, well, that sounds pretty good. And what's Oakland right now?
Oakland is at plus 410, and as you mentioned, they're the second choice right now. Now, you had mentioned, too, some other teams, and most of the other teams, frankly, I would not look very favorably upon.
Right.
The Angels, they're at plus 700. And the thing that when you look at them, they continue to struggle against higher caliber teams. So that's a real negative. The Yankees, oh my goodness, the Yankees have the exact same odds at 700, at plus 700, and that's fool's gold, Peter. This team is not a good team. And if you use the old Bill James theory of looking at figuring out a record based on runs allowed and runs scored and runs allowed, that right now the Yankees are 29-29, but their actual record based on how they're performing should be 25-33. That's 8 games below 500. Nothing here to like about the Yankees.
All right, and then just what about the Orioles? I'm assuming they're like 15-1 or 20-1 or something. You think that might not be worth a shot?
This is a team I really don't have a lot of faith in terms. They look like a 500 team. They might get to 85 wins, which may or may not be good enough to win that division. If Toronto comes back, I'm not sold on Baltimore unless they pick up a pitcher later on this season.
All right, so at the current moment, June 5th, we think that the best odds to win the American League pennant are the Blue Jays at plus 740.
I would take Oakland first, but in terms of longer odds, yes, I would take Toronto as the best bet in the American League for longer odds.
All right, thanks so much, Doug. Now let's look at the National League.